Okay, so at this time, either you can, this should be the start of session 3, and hopefully you, at this time when you see Phil Darrow up here, this is the video that we tried to show you during IPL last time, but couldn't get internet.
Yeah, I know.
One was kind of
We
bad.
were
So
having a hard time.
yeah, so anyways, we wanted to insert this for you guys to watch. It's funny. Some of you may have seen it, but that was like 3 years ago, and just think of all the new learning we've done in 3 years. So watching it again, we think would be pretty beneficial.
I think so.
Yeah,
Hmm.
kind of shows you why the tricks of math don't work, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah, and understanding why the mathematics works, that's the
yeah.
important part.
So we'll include that link with in your resources. So if you want to stop at this time and show it, that would be great. But we're going to continue on with our message. So okay, so we're going to take a look right now and look at a layout as if you're actually planning a unit. And so I know that many of you guys are probably, way further, well, you are further down in the scope and sequence.
Can let's refresh our memory. What were the resources that we used, Kathy?
Yeah. So progression
The
documents,
scope and sequence.
deconstructed standards,
You said the progressions document. Oh, our adopted textbook,
adopted materials,
HMH.
and then illuminate.
Oh, Illuminate.
Yeah.
Of course.
Okay.
Hmm.
And then, of course, your actual standing and coherence map.
Oh, the online coherence
Yeah.
map.
Okay.
Okay.
So those are some. Now we're going to actually show you how to actually research a unit. So at this time, we're going to ask you to stop, and we've put current progressions in there. So at this time, you might want to, whatever current unit you guys are using on. So 7th grade, you're using, whether you're in random sampling or
Yes.
I think some type of statistics right now.
Statistics or probability. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think 8th grade, you're probably into things with stats as well, probably.
Stats and maybe geometry.
Ending geometry.
Ending
Okay.
geometry.
So at this time, go ahead and stop. You see our little stop man up here. Whoops, 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 go back. Yeah, that one right there. That kind of shows stop at this time and maybe do some research with your materials if you'd like, or you may just continue on as well. Remember this, you're to use this module however you want. We're going to keep going, but if you'd like, you can go ahead and stop and have a reflection question at this time. So turn to a partner and discuss possibly what representations and solution methods would you expect to see teachers and students using in a lesson targeting the standard. So in the progression document, it's really nice because to the right hand column, what do they give you? What's the two different
Oh
things that
yeah,
they give
so
you?
they give you visual math examples
Hmm.
of the mathematic concepts, and they give you the standards on the right side of the progressions.
Okay.
Mhm.
And so sometimes for me, I'm the visual learner, so I like
Yes.
the conceptual understanding. So it kind of shows you like what that math should look
Mhm.
like at that grade level, right?
No, it helps me understand what the math is saying
Okay.
because of the writing.
Yeah,
It's pretty in depth.
okay. So at this time, you can choose to stop or continue on. So we're going to continue on. So at this time, we have linked a video, actually 2 different videos into this module. I'm going to give it a try. And what we've done is go ahead and click on that, Amani.
Okay.
And you should
Ooh.
have a video that looks like that. And it's linked into, we're not going to show you the whole thing here because it would make it too long. But you actually have it linked, and it's called the Introduction to AC Planning. So go ahead and show that. This should be a lot of fun because the 4 of us had a blast making it. But it's actually a mock AC planning session, so enjoy it. It's probably, I'm sure you guys will laugh at us, but that's okay. If we can bring humor to your day, that's awesome. Okay, so you're going to see how that works. And again, that's a link that you will have in your resources called Introduction to AC Planning. And so feel free to use that as a guide to, department leads. As remember, because part of our goal is to tighten up our ACs and build your capacity within your teams to have a support system there. Okay. So HMH textbook. So Amani, you want to
Yes.
tell what we found? We were looking at some resources in there about our guaranteed viable curriculum.
Yeah, we were researching and studying, and we found that, the resources in the GoMath narrow their focus for a deeper understanding. So it's not just about skill, it also has a conceptual way of learning the mathematics, and it has applications within the textbook.
Yeah, and one thing I like about the textbook too is that for it shows you the sequence
Mm-hmm.
of lessons that build to each other. So
Yes.
there's cohesiveness between lesson 1, lesson 2. I don't know if I'd use it page by page
Yeah.
as is, but I would definitely look at the lessons and how they flow together because it builds cohesiveness.
Yeah, because the curriculum is research based. So
Right.
they did research the coherence based on the math progressions.
One thing I also like about the book is that it allows students to master the concepts through engaging activities. So there's a lot of really rich activities. It adds to fluency and higher order thinking skills, the DOKs.
And allows for richer and deeper questioning
Yeah,
strategies.
off to the side, it has some
Yes.
really good questioning and group arrangements for
Mhm.
particular lessons, so
Yep.
grouping strategies.
And then within the lesson, even before you even start the lesson, it has literacy skills with
Math
those strategies
practices.
and math practices,
The math
and the
practices.
progressions. It even shows
Yeah.
you in each of the lessons the math progressions from a grade level before and after.
Wow. And then it also, it actually has the 5E instructional model all embedded in it. So, you know, the lesson design is there for either you to use or for you to use your creativity around.
Mhm. And it includes the personal math trainer
Mhm.
videos that
Yep.
you can just scan. The students can even scan in the QR.
And it's already
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
Mhm.
And it's already kind of got links of all the different
Yes.
ancillary materials for
Yes.
it.
Mhm.
And then it also, I really like it allows students and teachers to plan for personalized learning paths for kids for either the accelerated or intervention. Sometimes we don't think about the accelerated kid, right? We spend so much time with the mainstream students and then trying to figure interventions of getting allowing
Mhm.
us to support those kids that have get learning gaps.
So it balances both. It
Yeah.
has for intervention, the tiers, and then
Yep.
it also has for the advanced kids in the accelerated path.
Very nice. Okay. So one thing that I like about this framework right here is that it shows you that in a curriculum, our viable guaranteed curriculum, we have the HMH, and inside there are instructional materials. There are um, there's the lessons, the textbooks, the performance tasks, the
assessments.
quizzes, the activities, the
Mhm.
5E structure.
Yep.
And that's one way to do things. But then we also have to think when planning is how am I going to deliver that?
Yeah, I have to really sit down and think
Mhm.
how I'm gonna deliver and transfer that information to the kids.
To me, that's the planning nowadays.
Yes,
The
exactly.
planning is what am
Mhm.
I going to do to get kids engaged in the math?
And what questions am I gonna ask throughout the lesson
Right.
to
Yeah.
know if my kids are understanding me?
Yep. Yep. And so when I do that, then it's really how are kids implementing by the students, not the
Mhm.
teacher, but what are the students actually doing with it? Formative assessment along the way.
Yes. So,
Right.
so you're saying what students are with other students, what
Right.
they're doing with the mathematics,
Right.
their actions themselves?
The actions with each other,
Oh,
their
wow.
collaboration piece,
Got
right?
it. Mhm.
Right? The elaborating on each other's thinking.
Yes.
That all has to do with student learn.
Student learning.
And then what do I do if they learned it?
Mhm.
How do I know? Right? And what do I do if they have, and what do I do if they haven't?
Mhm.
So I really like that layout on that
Yeah,
slide.
it's nice.
Okay, so with that, we're going to talk about learning targets and the planning template. So at this time, go ahead and stop the video. And what we'll do is, again, when we come back to this slide in a minute, we're going to actually show you another video about how to plan using all those resources
Yes.
in our little AC mock.
Yep.
But right now, go ahead and stop the video if you choose at this time. But and then all of you possibly get all your resources together and maybe reflect on what we just talked about and go around in your AC and have a discussion and reflection about how do you attempt a brand new unit when going into it, and how do you bring student prior knowledge into the picture, and how do you know about the student prior knowledge. So go ahead and stop at this time and uh, have a discussion about when you go into a new unit.
Yeah.
How do you attempt it? Where do you start?
Okay.
Okay. So at this, okay, so go ahead and stop. At this time, we're going to show you another little AC video. So, and again, this one is the second one, which is called Using the Textbook to Design an Instructional Learning Sequence. And we're going to click on it just to kind of show you what it should look like. And again, there's our mock. There we are. And so, again, we're going to be sharing out a little AC planning time, and Amani's going to actually share in this video what the template looks like and things like that. So, feel free to watch this video, laugh at it, and then we're going to actually show you how we attempt to plan a unit. Okay? So we're going to close this down. Go ahead and watch the video at this time if you'd like. Okay. So now that you've watched that video, again, this is going back to
Oh, this is the shift.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
So this is the balance instructing, because now that we got our materials down on our learning template, right, and our planning guide about what lesson we're going to do, what questions in there, what tasks we might put, what assessment questions we might put, all those things. Now we have to start thinking about how we're going to teach that,
Yes.
right? The how. And so we want to kind of go into the 5E structure a little bit here.
So that's the implementation piece.
Now we're in the implementation, because those first two, what does the curriculum say?
Yep.
And then what assignments am I going to choose from the curriculum?
Ah, the challenging
Now,
tasks.
yeah, now we're going to go into implementation of the
So
actual
instructional
instruction.
practices.
Oh, there you go.
Oh.
And so you can see it's equal intensity. So we know that just exactly like the what rigor says, right?
Yeah, the balance between skills, concepts, and applications.
Yep.
Cool.
So let's tie this into what HMH says. HMH says in the Go Math actually talks about equal intensity in this format. They said that you should have 1/3 of the time students should be doing some type of discovery. 1/3 of the time students should be doing things with direct instruction.
Yep. Through
Through questioning strategies, but direct instruction doesn't necessarily mean in this case up at the front you showing them all the math. Okay.
Isn't it working with the students?
It's working with the
like as a whole?
collaboration groups, whole group instruction where you're doing questioning, you're doing call outs.
And where the students are talking to other students about the mathematics?
Yep. And then also 1/3 of the time students should be able to be doing things with groups and collaboration.
So Kathy, this includes within the triangle the 5 E's.
You know what? You are absolutely correct. The 5 E's just show up there.
Oh.
So you have the 5E structure, right? Engage, explore, explain, elaborate,
and evaluate.
So Amani, I'm going to give you a pop quiz here.
Yes.
Okay. My bad. Which part of the 5E process do you think engage goes to?
I think engage goes into the discovery.
Oh, okay. So it's like a hook.
Yes, I think it activates the learning, the prior knowledge that you're going to need to go into your lesson.
Okay. How about the explore?
I think same kind of thing, discovery.
Yeah,
where you're also including group activity
I think
with
so
exploration.
too, because the kids could be collaborating with each other. I don't think they just do it on their own, right?
Yeah, because not everything has to be isolated. Can't we just go back and forth?
Yeah. How about explain? Where does explain come in? You think on my equal intensity triangle?
I think explain goes into the direct instruction.
Good. And
but it doesn't just mean the teacher's explaining everything.
Good. So it's explaining through a conversation.
Yes, exactly.
It's more of a facilitation of a conversation.
Yes, either as a whole group or within their groups, or even the teacher walking around and talking to the students.
Because sometimes the kids could be teaching the other kids the math. It doesn't have to be the teacher.
Yes.
Because the teacher's really walking around during the first engage and explore, the discovery process, picking up all this information kids have about the math. Okay. How about the elaborate? Where do you think elaborate falls into that?
I think elaborate falls within the middle also, because elaborate depends on how you're going to extend the learning.
Yeah.
What other level are you going to take them to?
Where might you need to, as a teacher, go deeper with if kids aren't understanding it, or if kids are understanding it, how can you get them to elaborate on their thinking?
Level. Oh, okay.
Right?
Yeah, nice.
And how about evaluate?
That's like assessment.
Yeah.
Knowing if the kids understand, but you don't just do it at the end. I mean, throughout the 5 E's, you're evaluating, correct?
And I think kids are too, right? Kids are evaluating themselves to see if they understand it, doing little self checks, right? Okay, so we're gonna watch a video now, and again, now we want you to watch the video, and with your team, table teams, I want you to we want you to think about all the things we've learned up to this point, and see how she's making the math meaningful for kids. See if she's hitting the standard of 7RP2. But also see if you can identify and have a discussion after the video about the 5 E's, and see which part of her process was engage, was explore, and see how she just does it throughout her lesson. See if she nailed all 5 V's.